Hi everyone. My name is Yvette from Kouture Yves and SewYves, where I create handmade bags and I also create me-made garments. If you're just joining, I'm Yvette, founder of Kouture Yves and SewYves. Kouture Yves is my handmade luxury accessory brand, and SewYves is where I document my sewing and garment making journey. Welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off. This is the fabric of choice. It is a knit. It is a knit. And I'm using this from McCalls 7999. And what I'm going to do is I am going to serge and serge and sew. I'm not going to do too much pressing on this fabric because it is a knit. I think it'll be okay without pressing for tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my two shoulder seams and I'm going to meet them right sides together. Hello, how are you? Welcome to my life. My name is Yvette, owner of Kouture and SewYves. So Kouture Yves is where I create my luxury handmade accessories such as bags and bucket hats. And SewYves is where I document my personal sewing journey. So thank you for joining. If you're in the chat, please say hello. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. So I am now putting my front and back pieces together so that I can serge them. This is a really cute fabric that I'm working with tonight. If you're here, what are you guys working on tonight? Are you sewing tonight? Anyone crafting? So I'm going to sew these pieces together. So the McCall 7999 is kind of like a bandage dress. I like to think of it as such. This is what it looks like. So I, of course, am doing view B, but I'm not doing it with the slit. I'm not doing it with the slit tonight. So I'm just basically putting the fabric right sides together. And then I'm going to serge. And after we serge, we will sew. That's what I'm working on tonight. So I have my sergers right here. Oops, my sergers right here. Let's tighten this camera. Give me a second. I'm gonna leave it like that. because it'll be my luck that I tighten the screw on the camera, and then next thing you know, everything falls. Everything falls. So I'm only going to be on here until 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are not going to be on here long. So this is the dress. This is the fabric that I am doing the dress in. It's very cute marble. So let me serge this and get the first part of this done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this here. And then we're going to serge. Perfect. Let's just serve. This goes in. Okay, we got one end done. One end is done. Take this. And then we're gonna go to, and we're gonna go here. This is the other side of the shoulder. So I'm going to serge this part together. I'm going to sew that part together. Okay. So now that I have the two shoulders serged, I am going to now serge the sides. I'm going to try to do all my serging now. So when I get onto this machine, we can just go ahead and just sew it up completely. So I like to do both. I like to serge and sew because it gives me that added protection. I like to have the two seams, so if my seams happen to pop, my garment is not falling off my body. So I like to do two seams when I'm sewing garments. Now I know some people like to serge each pattern piece before sewing. I like to do that, but I like to do that on fabric that tends to fray a lot. But if the fabric doesn't fray much or doesn't shed much, should I say, then I'm not too concerned about it. So I'm just sewing, I'm just serging down the sides at this point. And then we'll jump on this machine, the sewing machine, and we'll give it, you know, an extra set of protection with these stitches. Now, one thing about stretch fabric, I love it. I love it because it's very giving to the body. And I like that the serger cuts the fabric as you serge. That's one of my favorite features about a serger, is that it cuts the fabric. It makes your seams look very nice. Hey BSN, I am serging my pieces, working on McCalls 7999, and I'm using this marble fabric that I had in my stash. I think it's gonna look super cute. So I'm serging my pieces first. And then after I serge, I'm going to pass it through the machine just to get my double layer of stitching. Because one thing I hate is to wear something and you see a string, you pull the string, and the next thing you know, your garment is coming off your body. So I kind of like to serge. I like to serge and then follow up with a regular seam. That's what I like to do. Thank you. I thought this fabric was super cute. It's pink and black, like a fuchsia black. I know it's gonna be super cute to the eye. I just hope it looks good when I put it on. I'm just gonna serge this real quick, and then we're gonna jump on the machine. So I'm doing view B. This is the view without the turtleneck. This is the view without the turtleneck. And I'm gonna do it like, maybe not a full sleeve, maybe like a three-quarter sleeve. So I'm thinking. So we're just gonna do this first. I'm gonna do this first. Okay. I think we're done with this machine. Let's turn this over. Let me tighten up. Let me tighten this up. right, now we're going to, so now that I have serged the, now that I've serged the main body pieces, I'm going to follow up behind it and just give it a zigzag stitch. So that way if any seams pop, my dress is not falling off. Looks like I have to change this thread real quick. So give me a second and let me do that. I forgot to change the thread in my machine. It won't take long, so I'm going to do that. We're going to take this white bobbin out and let's put a different bobbin in. Another bobbin case right here. And it doesn't look like I have any black. So with that being said, I'm gonna take one of these. Quick little break while I thread my bobbin and my machine real quick. If you're just now joining, please like the live and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. The intentions of this channel is basically to show you guys my sewing journey as I go from beginner to advanced. From beginner to advanced. I'm just documenting my sewing journey with garments and playing around with the different ideas. There's a lot of patterns that, you know, I can use to build my wardrobe, and I'm excited to be documenting that process here with you guys. So thank you for joining and keeping me company. I'm going to use this black thread. First, we're going to thread the bobbin first. So I'm going to put this here. We're going to swing this around. And we're going to thread the bobbin first. So this goes. I really like this dress pattern. This is a really nice dress. It fits really cute. I've only done this pattern once, and I really like the fit. But when I did it, I used a black velvet, and I did view A, which is the turtleneck view. And it came out super cute. So I thought, why not try it again? Try the look again with this marble fabric that I've been holding on to for some time. With this marble fabric that I've been holding on to for some time, I thought this was the perfect opportunity to just sew my pieces. Alright, so now I have my bobbin threaded. Let's insert the bobbin. The bobbin is basically the bottom thread when sewing on the sewing machine. All right, so I got my bobbin in. Now let's thread the machine and get to sewing. I'm gonna pull this down. Now I'm almost certain that the needle I have in my machine is for stretch fabrics. I believe the last thing I made on this machine was something that had a little bit of stretch to it, so I don't feel like I need to change my needle out. I'm doing view B, so I'm doing the view without the turtleneck. All right, so now I'm going to, yeah, I'm doing view B today. And I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch. Let's increase that. Yes. Oh, perfect. Perfect stitch length. This marble, I think this is gonna look super cute. This color is so me right now. I don't know, like these past couple of, like in the last year, I have really been feeling like this fuchsia color, like this all pinks and fuchsia. It's been my color lately. Like anything in the pink and purple family. All right, I'm doing the other. All right, now I'm going to sew down the sides, and then we can start working on, we can either work on the collar, or we can work on the sleeves. I'm probably gonna do the collar next. I've only done this dress one time. How dare me sew this dress and not look at the instructions, but I kind of have an idea of how it's supposed to go from when I sewed it the first time. So I'm going to, so this is a nice dress that I know I can pull off with either some tall boots, shoe boots, or I can wear, you know, a nice pair of heels. My anniversary is coming February 1st, so at least I can have this dress tucked in the closet, so if I do decide to go out and celebrate, which I probably won't because it's supposed to be about 2 degrees outside. So, but just in case, I'm just gonna have this dress there. So if we do decide to go out and celebrate, at least I'll have something in the closet that I can pull off. And what better dress to pull something off than the 7999? So, but if we do decide to go anywhere, I'm hoping we go to like Atlantic City. I like Atlantic City because they have like the casino. They have like a shopping district that you can go to, even though the shopping district is trash. I still like to go to the shopping district. And we like to go to like the little restaurants and stuff at the casino. They be having like casino club parties and stuff like that. We never go to the parties because we always end up falling asleep after we gamble. But hi Shamir. I'm working on my McCall 7999. I'm doing view B in this pretty marble fabric. I'll show you in a second. I will show you in a second. Yes, people are going back now. I haven't been, I have not been for about 2 summers, but my friend just went maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she said it was packed. There was a lot of people there. Usually though, Atlantic City, like for us here in the winter time, if we go to Atlantic City, people are trying to go to like the 40/40 club. They try to go out there, like they'll rent a room for the night and party and gamble for the whole night and then just come back the next day. Um, because the clubs in Atlantic City are pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah. I like Atlantic City. Atlantic City is pretty cool. I'm going to show you this fabric. So this is the fabric that I'm doing. The McCalls 7999. This is the fabric. I think it's super cute. I think it's super cute, y'all. Yeah. So, yeah, they're opening up. They've been opening up. Um, yes, folks are definitely going back. They're not, I don't think that folks are really like spending money like that, like really gambling, because the last time I went, the tables were, they were like kind of empty, but the clubs were packed. The clubs were packed. I went during the summertime, so, tattooing was a big thing. Everybody was getting like tattoos and stuff. Um, the boardwalk was like super, super packed. But the gambling, they weren't gambling as much as they normally do. I don't know about now. But my friend was just there like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she was like, girl, we had a time. But me and my friends always have a time when we go out there because, when you put a whole bunch of girls together in Atlantic City for a weekend or a night out, forget about it. Yeah, I like Atlantic City. When you come to New York, Shamir, you gotta try City Island. I don't know if you've been to City Island before or if you're like a seafood girly, but try City Island. You'll have a nice time there too. They be having like there's a restaurant called Seafood City. They have like the henny coladas in there for like maybe $15, but they're like really good drinks. Really good drinks. The seafood is amazing. I go to City Island almost every weekend. I go so much that I keep a fork in my purse on Saturdays because I like their food, but I hate their utensils. So I be pulling out my own fork. Yeah, City Island is real good. City Island is real good. I know the owner of Seafood City. That's the only one that I go to really. There's other restaurants on there, but they're not as good as Seafood City. Yeah, you gotta try City Island. City Island, you will not go wrong, I promise you. You'll have an amazing time. Now it's not in Atlantic City, because Atlantic City you have, all the entertainment and stuff, right? You got gambling, you got clubs, you got, if you go in the summertime, usually they have like a DJ, sitting beach side, so you get to, party and crap around in the beach sand and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty cool. Oh, you drive from Brooklyn to City Island all the time? Okay, Rome stuck ahead. Right, because City Island is a place to be. Yeah, City Island is good, but City Island is just good to like grab something to eat. Like, there's really no nightlife there. It's like a marina by the beach. It's like a marina. It's like one long strip, and in that one long strip is different restaurants, different seafood and soul food restaurants, mainly seafood. Um, Mainly seafood, and that's it. There's no like clubs or any. There's no adult entertainment unless somebody is like throwing a party in City Island. Unless somebody's throwing a party in City Island. It is cute. It's very cute for like when you're trying to get like some photos. Very nice. Yeah. City Island is cool. I go every weekend. But Atlantic City, that's where you go for like, I'm trying to go and have a good time, have a nice adult evening. That's what Atlantic City is good for. Now, for me to get to Atlantic City, um, that's about like a 3 hour drive, 2 to 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Whether I'm leaving from, depending on where I'm leaving from. But no matter what, from New York City, it's a, it's at least a 3 hour drive. So it's a road trip. So that's why when me and my friends go, yeah, when me and my friends go, that's why we generally rent a room. So that way we party and crap around all night. We have a room in case somebody gets a little too out of control. Or if somebody wants to sleep, before we head out because of the drive. But yeah, yeah. Rome, so what part of Brooklyn you're from? Are you from the Style? Are you from Bed-Stuy? I don't go to Brooklyn much. I'm a Harlem girl. Harlem and Bronx. Bronx and Harlem. I stay on that side of the boroughs. Bronx and Harlem. That's it. Now I have family in Brooklyn, but I don't generally see them much. I don't go hang out with my family in Brooklyn much. Oh, Brownsville. Okay. My family is from um Cortilio, the Cortilio. I just know it by the Cortilio train station. Just be like, oh, they live on Cortilio. My family is they're from Brooklyn. Brooklyn and Queens, but I never go to Brooklyn and Queens. I'm never over there. All right. So these are my sleeves now. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to attach the sleeves. I think I'm going to sew it down and then attach it. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Brooklyn is a vibe. Yeah, I'm sure. Brooklyn is a vibe. That was just never like my borough. to like hang out. Like I was born in the Bronx and raised in Harlem, so I always kept it there. Going to Brooklyn was more like, all right, I'm going to see my family. I'll be back. um, and Queens too. Queens is where all the rich people live at. You stayed in the East Village in Flatbush. Okay. My family was from over on Cotillo. I couldn't tell you what avenue or what street they were from, but I know my cousins lived in Brooklyn. And I think I lived in Brooklyn for a short time too. Like I rented a room back in the day from Brooklyn. I was on what street? It was on the G train, I think it was. I used to have to take the G train to Myrtle. What was that? I forget what train station that was. I haven't rode the train in so long. But I know there was I used to have to get on the G train. Brooklyn was a vibe, but Brooklyn is different though. That's like a whole nother it's like a whole nother state within the state. Brooklyn was a whole nother state within the state. You could tell the difference when you're in Brooklyn and when you're in Harlem, or when you're in Queens and you're in the Bronx. Like you could tell the difference of where you at in New York. Do I want a tour guide? No, I don't want a tour guide. No, thank you. I'm gonna pass on the tour guide. I mean, I know places in Brooklyn. I just wasn't my borough to go and hang out and do dirt in. Oh, you're from Brownsville too? Okay. And you're in Far Rockaway now. Okay, Far Rockaway. Yeah. I'm just serging my sleeves down so we can connect it to the dress. Yeah. I was born in Bronx, Lebanon, and I was raised in Sugar Hill in Harlem. So that's like 140. That's 145th Street on the A train. A B C D 1 2 9. No, not the 2. The 2 is on the Bronx side. Sorry, but yeah. 145th and 8th Ave. Okay. Now you talking my language. Now you talking my language. That's down the hill. That's down the hill. Yup. That's down the hill. Now you talking my language, but that's where I'm from. Those were some times. It was a time growing up in that neighborhood, from 145th to 155th, from up the hill, from Riverside, all the way down the hill to like Lenox Avenue. The neighborhood was long. It was a big neighborhood. It was a big neighborhood. Yes, the Polo Grounds. I'm from right up the hill from the Polo Grounds. Shami, I'm doing the McCall 7999, and this is view B. So this is the view without the turtleneck. This is the view without the turtleneck. And I'm doing it in this marble fabric. I chose this marble fabric. I've been sitting on this fabric for a long time. And I was like, why not just do, and it matches my hair. I said, let me just do a quick McCalls. So this is one sleeve. I do sell the things that I make. You can check my website out, which is coutureeves.com. Um, I sew, I sell bucket hat. No, I sell bucket hats and luxury handbags. My bags are generally made out of some type of crocodile, some type of swamp, like some type of crocodile, snake skins, leathers. Like I just make bags out of anything that catches my eye. Um, so you can check my website out, which is coutureeves.com for more. You can check my Instagram out if you would like to see my work. I have two Instagram pages. The one with the bags and the bucket hats is called Couture Yves, KOUTUREYVES. Yes. And my other Instagram page is called SewYves, SEWYVES, where I document my garment sewing journey. So one Instagram page is focused on showcasing my handmade bags and bucket hats. I make bucket hats in cotton, especially during the summertime where it's breathable. And then I also make them in either crocodile leather or whatever fabric, chinchilla maybe, whatever fabric is needed to achieve a particular look. And then the SewYves, I just put, I just document what I'm making for myself as I build my me made wardrobe. So, yes. So you can find me there. And then I do lives on Twitch as well as YouTube. So, Wednesdays and Fridays, I am on Twitch from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then every Thursday, you can catch me here on YouTube where I'll be sewing a lot of like um my me made outfits. So, yes, the bucket hats are a really good product. They're a good make. I usually flood people in my neighborhood in Harlem with the bucket hats because they know what time it is. um, Bucket hats for the summertime are usually made in 100% cotton, super breathable because, the temperatures are really, it's really hot outside, so you don't want nothing heavy on your head. You want something that's going to provide you with some type of a shade and support. But and then as we get closer into cold weather months, the fabric to the bucket hat changes because, we have to change with our temps. So yeah, go check out my page if you don't mind. Like this live if you haven't already. And if you feel like seeing more of my sew alongs and content, then just subscribe. I would appreciate it. So right now I'm just sewing, I'm serging my sleeves down, and then we're going to hit it with the sewing machine and then attach it. We're going to attach it with the sewing machine to the dress. So I'm just doing this part now. So for me to make a bucket hat, I can make it in as little as, I'm going to say about 2 hours. I can make a bucket hat in 2 hours, and that is including cutting and preparing the fabric to be sewed. So it doesn't take long to create a bucket hat. It does not take long at all to create a bucket hat. We can do regular bucket hats. We can do bucket hats with pockets in it, with zipper pockets. So if you decide you want to go out, but you don't want to take your ID, you can simply just put it in a zipper pocket in your bucket hat. It's basically like an incognito pocket that you can have in your hat. You can have the pocket on the inside of the hat so nobody can see that you have a pocket in your hat. But yeah, that's just some of the things that can be done when creating bucket hats. Okay, so now I got both sleeves sewed and serged. So I like to have a serging stitch on the end, and then I like to have a regular zigzag stitch behind it. So if any of these stitches pop, the other one can support, you know, and not have your garment falling off of you. That's what I like to do anyway. All right, so now I don't think I should have done this way, so I'm going to take this out. Yeah, it doesn't take long to do a bucket hat. Bucket hats are cute to make. I like to do embroidery on the bucket hats for the guys in my neighborhood. They like to have their street names on their hats. I made my cousin a bucket hat. He wanted a bucket hat with all of his friends and stuff that was deceased. So I made a memorial bucket hat for him, and I did a lot of embroidery on it. That rang a lot of bells in Harlem. It rang a lot of bells in Harlem. So, yeah. I'll be trying, y'all. I'll be trying to get my stuff out there. Oh, sure, no problem. You could go to my Instagram page, to Kouture Yves, and in the bio, there is a link to my link tree. And in that link, there is a form that you can complete with whatever you want to have custom made for you. Just fill out that form, and I will contact you. Make sure you put your phone number and your name in there, and I will contact you so that we can discuss the details to your order, and then we can just take it from there. So just go to KoutureYves.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Hold on. I'm going to put it in the chat. So Kouture Yves. You could do Kouture Yves and at SewYves on IG. So I just put it in the chat. Those are my two Instagram handles on IG. Feel free to like, follow, and share. Yes, I do Cash App, I do Zelle, I do Chime, I do PayPal. Yes, yes, absolutely. And I also do, um, yeah, I do Cash App, Zelle, Chime, PayPal. Yep. So when you send me a message, we will discuss like your color, what your favorite color is, if you want embroidery, what style of embroidery do you want. I have like maybe ten fonts for embroidery. I can share those with you at a later date, but there are 10 fonts that I can do for embroidery. And yeah, I'm just seam ripping my collar because I sewed it the long way and I really wanted to sew it the short way. I think the short way is better. So I'm just taking the stitches out so that I can redo that part. But the sleeve is done. All I need to do is attach the sleeve to the dress, and we just need to hem the bottom of the dress after we connect the collar. Yes. So, yeah, definitely. If you're a person who likes bucket hats, though, you'll like my bucket hats. Because you can fold them, you can put them in your pocket, you can wash them, and it's not going to mess up the structure of the hat. You can iron the hat. Well, the ones that, that are made out of cotton, you can wash them, you can iron them, and it's not going to distort the shape of the hat. The hat is not super stiff, but it's good enough for you to be able to tuck it in your pocket, um, or put it on. The bucket hats, those are a really good seller for me during the summer months because all the guys in my neighborhood want bucket hats. Whether they want it embroidered, they want embroidered, or they just want plain bucket hats. Some of them get the hats reversible. I do I do pants, I do leggings. I have not tapped into jeans for anyone yet. I've done jeans for myself, but I haven't done jeans for anyone else. No. The garments that I sew are predominantly for myself. Eventually, I will add things to my website for people to place an order for a handmade item, such as a garment, like maybe like, a cardigan or something like that. But that's for later on in the future, not for right now. Right now, my selling items are luxury accessories like purses, clutches, tote bags, duffel bags. I've made snakeskin duffel bags. You can take a look at my Instagram. You'll see a lot of the stuff that I've made on there. Now in February, we're going to start focusing on black pattern designers. So a lot of the purses and stuff that I will be making will be made out of using patterns from a Black designer. And that is to support Black History Month. You know, we got to support our people. Um, but yeah, I make leggings and stuff like that for myself. I love to make like pencil skirts. That might be something I can add to my website, you know, for women at a later note. Um, for men, I have not zoomed in on anything outside of either a wallet or a bucket hat For the most part, that's all I really have for men at this time. Now, eventually, I will have stuff, you know, later. Um, but right now, I'm just focusing on one thing at a time. So that is the bucket hats and the purses, and then I focus on adding clothes to my wardrobe. Yes. So, yeah. It's nice to see that, you know, when I go live, I'm going live with people who are from my hometown, you know, from New York City. It's always nice to see people from New York pop in on your lives. Always nice. Yeah. So I'm just taking this out. I'm almost done. This is the bad part about sewing. When you see somebody sewing with one of these in their hands, stay out their way. They are frustrated. That means they are about to take some seams out, and depending on the project, it can be really easy or it can be really tough. And these things can definitely cut into your fabric, so you got to be real careful when using a seam ripper. When you're using a seam ripper, you got to be real careful. So, you got to be real careful. So, this is what we're doing. Yep. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to like the live and subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers up, y'all. I think I got like 70 subscribers now. 69, 70 last time I checked. Thank you for following. If you follow, thank you. And thank you for liking my live. Um, okay. See, now that took some time. So I done seam ripped it. Now I'm going to get all this thread off of my fabric. And then we're going to attach it to the dress. Let's do this. Let's clean this up a bit. Clean this up a bit. And we're making good time in. I'm only going to be on for another 20 minutes. It's almost 7:30. I have to be a little bit strict with my time now going forward because I'm starting grad school in about a week, and I'm trying to make sure that my time management is being kept. I need to make sure that I am strict with my time so that way when I start my classes, I'm not struggling trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life. All right, so we're going to that way, and then I'm gonna hit it with this. Okay, so now, let's see. So this is the dress, and this is the. So I'm gonna fold this way. And we're going to put that here like that. Okay. All right. This is better this way. I knew I was doing something wrong. All right. I just subscribed and I'll be checking the website, placing my order. Thanks, Miss Harlem. You're so very welcome. Don't be a stranger. You can always stop by. I'll be here on Thursdays, same time every week, unless I have like, a project for school. You can call me Kouture, or you can call me Yves. That's fine. Or Miss Harlem. Miss Harlem is fine too. That works. We take pride in where we from. we be taking pride where we from. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. No big deal. So right now what I'm doing is I'm matching my notches. I'm matching my notches to make sure that everything goes on the dress even. This goes on the dress even. Yes, thank you for subscribing and following. Don't forget to check out the Instagram also. The Instagram is where I'll always post, like what I've made, what's up for sale, when I'm going live. I usually post it in my stories. So you'll always be able to follow my journey. If you have the Twitch app on your phone or your tablet or your device, whatever device you're using, you can also follow my lives on Twitch as well. I'm usually on Twitch Wednesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Yeah. So, all right. I'm gonna do this. All right. Cool. So this is the band for the neck. It's like this, like a neck band. All right, let's put this to the side for right now. We don't need this anymore. for right now. Let's put this back here. All right, so now we're going to work on installing the sleeves. So now, this is the front of the dress because we can tell that we have the swoop. So we're going to now take this sleeve, and I know we're using this sleeve because usually when you're looking at fabric and if you put notches in it, if it has one notch, it typically means that that's the front. And if it has two notches, then that means that it's the back. So because we have two notches on this side, I know that that belongs to this sleeve because this sleeve hole has two notches. So what I'm going to do is I am going to match. The first thing I'm going to do is match my seam. I always match my seam. Well, you know what? Let me turn this inside out. Because if I turn it inside out, I can put this sleeve inside here and then just match the notch. Right? So we're going to do notch to notch. No, we're going to do seam to seam. And then we're going to do a notch to notch. Now we're going to do a notch to notch. So this goes here, right? Perfect. So we're going to put a pin right here. We're going to put another pin right here to secure this. And then we're going to go around the armhole and we're just going to be attaching the pins to it to hold it in place. Then we're going to serge it with that machine and then we're going to follow up with this machine. Now, you don't need to have two machines to sew. I just like to have these two because the serger machine, this machine, it gives a really clean finish. It makes the garment look professional, professionally made. And that's what I like about it. It gives it that nice clean finish. Now, do you sew at all, Roamstar? Do you sew at all? Any crafting? Anybody else in the chat sew? Are you guys sewing tonight? Okay. All right, so this can go right here. Okay, match my notch. We're going to put a pin there. Let's put a pin here. Oh, you a baker? Okay. What do you bake? Cakes? You bake cakes? Cakes, cookies, just desserts? Or are you baking food? Food. I consider that crafting too, though, not for nothing, because people be getting creative when they be baking stuff. They get super creative. Oh, a pastry chef. Okay. Okay. You might be the key to my heart. I love me a snack. A pastry chef. That's what's up. That is what's up. That is what's up. A pastry chef. All right. Now I am basically working this in. Oh, this went in perfect. No, let's do this. Oh, okay. Did you go to culinary school or something? Did you go to culinary? I took culinary classes at one point in time, and I couldn't stay out the kitchen. I was eating everything up in sight. I was eating everything in sight. All right. So I have the sleeve bands on. I have the sleeve on. So now what I think we are going to do is, first of all, we're going to ease this in a little bit more because I don't want to see like wrinkles and stuff in my sleeve. So, do you ever think about doing like lives and showing your kitchen journey? Oh, you went to college. What college did you go to? Did you go to college in New York? What college did you go to? I went to college in New York. I went to TCI College of Technology, where I got my associate's degree from back in the day. I don't even think that school is any longer. It used to be right across the street from Madison Square Garden. I love that school because I used to go to school, and when I used to get out of classes, I used to bump into all of the basketball players because Madison Square Garden was right across the street. So I loved going to school there. Let me search this real quick now that I have it nice and neat. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm basically going to serge the sleeve to the dress, and then we're going to follow up with a zigzag stitch. Yes, I went to college in New York. Got my first degree there. And then I moved and got my second degree at a different location. And now I'm working on my third degree. I'm working on my third degree now, which is kind of scary, but I'm here now. Ain't no need to turn back. All right, take this out. So I'm basically serging all the way around, just attaching the sleeve to the armhole. Right, and then we're going to take this and we're going to stretch it. All right. Just come on a little bit more. Oh, come on. One thing about knit fabric, it will definitely curl up on you. curl up. Oh, you went to college in the South. Yeah, TCI is no longer. I think they turned TCI into like one of those type of charter schools now. But when they did away with TCI, they could have did away with the student loans. They could have definitely did away with that at the same time. They could have definitely did away with that at the same time, but nope. I went to TCI. People had a lot of negative things to say about TCI. TCI changed my life. TCI changed my life. I graduated from TCI back in 2001. 2001, I got my first degree. Yep. Okay. I'm almost done with attaching this sleeve. All right, this sleeve is attached. Now I'm going to sew behind it. You almost went to TCI. It was a good school. It was a good school. I'm proud to be an alumni. I've gotten some really good employment opportunities after graduating from TCI. So I can't complain. I couldn't tell you that my opportunities would have been the same if I didn't go, but I know that at the time that I went to TCI, I was in desperate need of a change in life, and that was the best decision I could have made. Honestly, it was a good school. I learned a lot, and move forward. All right. TCR was good. And plus, why not go to a school that was in the shopping district? I mean, 34th Street? Well, the school was on 31st Street, and I always used to go to 34th Street to go get lunch, to go shopping. It's a vibe going to school in New York City. You started off at Pace and went to Virginia. Okay. All right, so we got one sleeve on. Let's see how it looks. Aha. So we got one sleeve on, y'all. We got one sleeve on. This is going to be a cute dress. If you look at it. See? And it's going to be fitted. It's going to be like a nice... Yes, this is a cute little dress. And I could wear this with a cute little pair of boots. It's going to look good. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to look good. Oh, this is going to be so cute. All right, now I'm going to work on the other sleeve. It's 7:30, but I have time to. I have a few extra minutes. I was supposed to jump off, but it's okay. All right, let's do the other one, and then all we need to do is we're gonna attach a sleeve now. This is the final sleeve. Then we have to attach the neckband, and then we just need to do the hemming on both sleeves and the bottom of the dress. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. I'm gonna flip the sleeve inside out, and then I'm gonna put it inside of my garment, and then we're going to pin in place. So I'm gonna start pinning first at the underarm seam. I'm going to pin in place at the underarm seam. So we're going to do that. Yeah, I used to love going to school downtown. It just used to be so much fun, just getting out of classes and then crossing the street. You see ball players, cross the street again. You got the shopping, you got clothes, food, you got nightclubs, you got everything. Everything was downtown. Everything was downtown. That's one thing I missed about, New York City is just enjoying it for what it is, Like you can always have a good time in New York. All right, so perfect. So I matched my notches. Now I'm just gonna go around the armhole and ease it in. I'm trying to be strict with time, y'all, but I think I need to increase the time of my lives. Instead of doing an hour and a half, I'm probably going to increase it for 2 hours, but first I need to start classes and see, how I want to just make sure that I have time for everything. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm super excited about these classes that I'm taking. Um, in one of these classes, I have to pretend I am the director of a company, and there's like some type of case study where I have to do like a self evaluation of what type of a leader I would be. And then I guess take that case study, and I guess I have to write a paper about it. I'm not sure, but from what I gather from the syllabus, that's what it looks like. Like I have to pretend I am the director and implement some type of departmental change. So the course that I'm taking is a leadership course. So we'll see how that turns out. So what I'm going to try to do is have like my lives planned, pre-planned, so that way when I jump on, I'm super prepared. Okay, so now I'm going to serge my other armhole. I'm going to start from the bottom, from where the seam is, and go around. I'm going to start from here and just go around. Yes, Macy's was right up the street. Macy's was there. Conway was there at one time. I used to love Conway back in the day. As cheap as that store was. I used to love Conway. But Conway was there. Macy's was there. The Gap was there. Then you had Applebee's for the restaurant. 34th Street was always loaded with different types of goods, you know, for people shopping. It was just fun, even just to go down there and just walk and just window shop. Just window shop. 34th Street was the bomb. Now, one place that I have not been to in a few years is Rockefeller Center to watch the tree. But I go down to, but I definitely go to Midtown on Halloween because I like to go to the brownstones downtown. You know, people usually dress up their homes. They'll close the neighborhood off and have like a huge Halloween, you know, it'll be like a Halloween festival. Downtown was always nice. Even the Village. I love going to the Village. The Village is always super fun. You could go to the Village by yourself and have a time. You don't need no company. That's one of the things I enjoy about New York is that, you know, you can go out. You don't need like a whole lot of friends to have a good time. Like you can go to, you know, different places and by yourself and have a ball. It's just that when you're with friends, it just makes that ball a lot more fun. But now, in Harlem in the summertime, I'll go to like the pier on 125th Street by the water because now they have the boats out there, and the boats now serve food. They serve food. They sell alcohol. They provide adult entertainment at night, but that only happens like in the summertime. In the summertime. You go right there to 125th Street, 12th Avenue, where Dinosaur Barbecue restaurant is. And you can now have you a nice time right in the park on the pier for free. You don't even need to buy a drink. You could bring your own. You could bring your own. Yes, Conway was the truth. Um, the Village it's a vibe. Okay, I love the Village. You go to the Village and you're like in a whole nother. The Village is a whole nother borough. The Village is a whole nother borough. I like the Village. The people in the Village can party. Okay, them people can party. You looking for a nice time? Go to the Village. Go to West 4th Street. Go to West 4th Street. I like going down here, especially though during Halloween. Halloween in the summertime. Summertime months and Halloween, I love going down there. I love going down there. 42nd Street. I have a friend who works at the Virgin Hotel where all the celebrities go, and he has like a pool. There's a pool at the Virgin Hotel. I'll be going up there sometimes in the summertime just to unwind. Just to unwind. All right. I'm almost done with this sleeve. After the sleeve, we're going to connect the neckband. Yeah, the Village is definitely a dope place to hang out. It's a dope place to hang out. Okay. I'm going to try this on so we can see where we are, and then we can reevaluate. So I will be right back. Let me step to the side and try it on. This is the dress. Oh, this is super cute, y'all. And it comes down to the knee, but I think I'm gonna hike it up a bit. This is the back. Oh, I love this. I love this, y'all. I love the way this looks. Yes, oh my God, the Halloween parades, amazing. I like this. This is super cute. It's you know what I like about it? It's just not. It's spacious. Like it's not over tight. You know, I can put like a nice. I can make like a nice belt and put it on the waist to cover my little belly fat. But other than that, I think this is cute, y'all. Let me go see. Let me look in the mirror. Hold on. I gotta get the full look. Hold on. Okay, let me change out of this real quick. I like that dress. That dress came out cute, y'all. And you know what I noticed? Depending on so I noticed that with different fabrics, this pattern hits different. Because I just made this pattern in a velvet fabric and it did not have the fit that it had tonight. So, all right. It's almost time for me to end this live. I've been on a little bit longer than usual, 15 minutes extra. I have to get dinner going and I got to respect my time frame. So I am getting ready to end this live. But before I do, the only thing I have left to do is attach the neckband. I need to hem the sleeves. And then I just need to figure out if I want to hike this up a little bit more, like a little mini skirt, or if I want to leave it at knee length. So I am thinking if I hike it up a bit, I'm only going to hike up maybe about this much. So I probably would cut that much off, maybe about an inch or two off from the bottom. And that's all that I have left to complete the dress. So, um, with that being said, I just wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. If you haven't liked the live already, please like. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to see more of me on here on YouTube, where I'll be sewing more garments like these. As I go along, the lives will get they'll get better with time. I'm still getting comfortable with being on camera and showing my process of sewing. Um, Once classes start, I'll decide if I'm going to either increase the time. If not, I'll keep it at an hour and a half, because even though it's an hour and a half, if I come to the live already prepared, then I'll be able to at least get 90% of the projects completed, depending on the project. So tomorrow I'll be on Twitch live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can follow my Twitch. It's Kouture Yves _ at the end. My Twitch lives, my YouTube lives are always posted on Instagram. So be sure you're following my Instagram accounts, which I put in the chat a little while ago. You can follow me at Kouture Yves or SewYves, and or if you're looking to review my website, it's KoutureYves.com, where you'll be able to see some drops. All my drops are not on there. I'm going to be honest with you. If you check out my Instagram account, you'll be able to see everything that I drop live and off the press. Sometimes my items don't make it to the website because somebody will see it and want it immediately and place an order for it. So you can check out the website. You can check out the Instagram to see the type of things that I make. And you can just follow me along. So Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm on Twitch from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every Thursday, I'll be here on YouTube, same time, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Twitch lives are usually, the lives on Wednesdays are usually me creating a purse, a bag, a bucket hat. Thursdays, the lives are generally me creating my me-made wardrobe. And then Fridays, I kind of keep that as an open soul. So whatever I don't finish on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll finish on Twitch on Fridays. So that's kind of the type of schedule I want my lives to be on. So feel free to follow along. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's Kouture Yves and SewYves. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.